Welcome to another edition of the MMA Analysis podcast. I am not Lance. He's out with, he's got the hivy again. It happens. And apparently he passed it on to his young feller. Just weak immune systems. I think Barry took all the immunity for the entire official family, and everybody else is left with nothing. So Lance is out for the week. But we've got a good card, and we've got a fun show because I'm joined by we only allowed one parent on this show. We've got a rule, only one parent at a time. So we've got Wes in this week, being daddy to the podcast. Wes, what's going on?
Same old shit, man. Glad to be back. Could finally, the wife actually let me shake loose to come down here and smoke some weed and talk about some fights. So I'm pretty ecstatic on a Wednesday night. Never, I guess it takes fatherhood to make you feel this fucking, pumped up on a Wednesday night, but
to just sit and bullshit about
something. Yeah,
let loose.
Yeah. Party time, baby.
I think it was during one of the bare knuckle cards. You tweeted, "You 8 weeks into being a dad." That dude that Houston murdered.
Oh, that was so ugly, bro. Like this guy, it's one of those cases where dude's eyes is wide open, but his brain is completely fucking off, dude. That was good shit.
And we've also
bare
got,
knuckle.
Wonderful stuff. We've also got my Canadian compatriot. He's out there in Alberta doing a dance. Well, everybody else in Alberta is licking their wounds from another failed election for the Conservatives. But they snuck a little bit of red and a little bit of orange out in Alberta this time. Like, what's going on? Are you guys going soft, Sean?
Just the city folk. Some of the city folk are going soft. It's a fun time out in Alberta. The Texas comparisons are very on point. As they usually are.
They probably saw the recent blackface of Trudeau and was like, no, that might be our guy. You know what I'm saying? Like, it might be our guy.
They got confused.
Yeah.
They got confused. They're just like, wait a minute, which party is he in?
People thought he was being ridiculous when he was like, "Yeah, I don't know how many times last election."
A lot.
But now a new one comes up, and he's like, "I already told you guys. I don't know how many times."
Yeah,
like,
we're not going to put a count on this, bro.
You can't pin this on me now.
A new one comes out, a couple days before every election. It's like Christmas.
Just
this
like
dude's Teflon. There's not a black face that can stick this man at this point.
There's
can't do it.
Nothing that can stick to him.
Nope.
I mean, the election was won for Trudeau, and in Canadian terms, our elections are fucked up. Not as fucked up as yours down in the States, but we've got three parties that are real parties, kinda, and another party that's just in Quebec, and then
that want to separate.
Yeah. And then some weird fringe parties.
It sounds kind of close. Y'all getting kind of y'all following our lead up there, man.
Nah, but all of ours can actually win seats. So
yeah,
that's the difference.
Only two of ours can, but
yeah.
Trust me, we have like 7 parties that start, but once you get going, they're like, man, this is a weird. Just the money down here talks. There's only 2 that can win.
Yes. Yeah, same here. There's only really 2 that can win, but yeah, it was interesting. It was an interesting election for absolutely nothing to change.
Making that money, betting on the election. That's all it's good for is making gambling money.
Damn right. Yeah. For those that bet it, pretty much everybody seemed to clean up. So good on those who did. I guess we've got some fights to talk about from last week. There were fights last week, right?
There was a lot of fights last week.
Yeah, it was like 15 fights. Well,
we didn't get enough to fall out, so yeah, it drug on a bit.
These cards lately, bro, are just, man.
Yep.
That was an afternoon one too, so like I was out on a hike with Turk for the first couple hours of the card, and could have fooled me because I came back and there was still like 6 hours of fights. Just too much. But we'll recap them. There were 14 fights, so let's see if we can get through the recap before we hit 20 minutes here. So 14 minutes for 14 fights. Kicking it off, women's flyweight division, armbar from guard, baby.
All day. I was trying to bet that on this card, this upcoming card, but it had to get pushed for a couple of weeks because somebody got COVID or something.
Oh, I thought you were saying you're taking Lauren Murphy by sub.
No, the one that got moved. Yes, I'm all in on Lauren Murphy, armbar from guard.
As you should be. Next up, bantamweight division, Gustavo Lopez and Haile Alatang Ali, or whatever the way they pronounce it. Went to a draw. I don't even know, was there a point deduction or did somebody get shit beat out of them during one of those rounds?
Actually, a very, very justifiable and great point deduction by, I believe it was Keith Peterson. Great.
Yep,
Nice.
Old booze and cigs.
Yep.
People were getting pissed. Like some people were pissed, but that's of course because they were betting that side.
Any other time
if you weren't betting that side, you're like, finally, somebody actually took a point when it was an egregious fucking cage grab.
There you go. Good to see it. So obviously he would have won if not for the cage grab. So
definitely,
that's the best way to punish this shit. So yeah, there you go. Next up, welterweight division, we had the Carlton just blowing up Impa's shit in 2 minutes and 38 seconds of round one. Again, didn't see it, so you guys will have to let me know what's up here.
Impa's not good. We all
poor Impa.
Yeah, we all just he moved weight classes and everything, thinking it was going to help his cardio and shit, and it didn't matter anyway because he got knocked out in a couple minutes. But we just hyped the guy up way too much. He's just not that good.
Yeah. There you go. I mean, a win over Sasha Palatnikov doesn't count for as much as it used to, I guess.
No, doesn't carry as much weight.
I think Carlton's all right though.
Yeah,
it's not bad.
Yep.
Women's flyweight division again. Erin Blanchfield got a unanimous decision over Sarah Alpar. Oh, she's the one that got money from Jake Paul, right?
Triller's looking for a refund.
Next champ. Oh no, Twitter tell you that's probably next champ. 125. Watch out.
She's next champ, and she couldn't even finish Sarah Alpar.
You know how they get, man, when they see a fucking one-way traffic in a fucking shit women's fight. They're the next coming.
Fair enough. I think. Oh no, still a couple more that I didn't see. Montel Jackson, unanimous decision over JP Bays as like a minus 8,000 favorite, but did he end up losing round one or just struggled a little bit early in round one?
I don't know how he didn't finish this fight.
Yeah,
there definitely could have been refs that would have stopped it. I mean, he dropped him a couple times, and
Bays or Bays, whatever, like that. He stayed in tough. I will give it to that kid, man. There's a lot of dudes that would have said "fuck this" and got out of there, but I
got dropped 4 times.
I don't
know if all 4 of them were legit. Like I think it was like at least 2 or 3. But
I was heavy on over 1.5, and you talking about fucking puckering all over.
Yeah, and then I had inside the distance and fucking didn't get it.
Damn,
love that.
This guy, so buys or I'm gonna say buys.
I think it's Bays, but
I'm sure it is, but I'm gonna say buys because if he wanted it to be Bays, he'd spell it with an A.
Mm-hmm.
That's just math right there. I'm assuming that he's Lance's favorite fighter because he loves dudes that just get dropped.
Lance bet him again. Lance keeps betting the guy.
Yeah, he was like, plus 500. Fucking why not?
I learned my lesson last time.
Yeah.
All right.
Zhu Rong. I mean, if Zhu Rong, I don't want to be right.
Nah, that's all I thought about the whole fight. That's all I could think about the entire fight, dude. I swear to God.
And he got the fin. I saw the end of this one. Brandon Jenkins. This guy is not good.
He's bad.
Yeah,
he's bad. I put a small bet on him, and it was not. it was not fucking the best thing I've ever
Yeah.
done.
I sprinkled
did
him.
too.
I
Completely
played
minded.
under 2.5, so of course it finishes.
Damn.
Yeah.
Another thing is like that dude's like 22. He's the youngest guy to ever get a win in the UFC. Yeah, or not the what they say
He's
he's
the youngest guy on the roster right now.
youngest guy on the
Right now.
roster, and yeah, that's what it was. Still, that makes me fall. Bro.
I think John Jones won the belt before he was this guy's
Yeah.
age.
Yep.
But yeah, these the Chinese fighters, I still don't think they're very good, but he definitely looked much better than in his first UFC performance.
Yep.
Next up, women's bantamweight division. Raquel Pennington got a unanimous decision against Penny Kianzad. This is when my betting night sort of started. I obviously lost the Jenkins one, but this little live bet on Pennington. Yeah, this fight happened. It wasn't terrible.
It was all right. I had a small bet on Penny. I believe it's some plus money. Dumb bet. Not me doing the shit I said I would. Yeah, that's what I thought it was going to be, a close fight like that. But me telling myself like 2 months ago to stop betting on shitty fights and shitty fighters. And
I tell myself that every week.
But they keep giving us cards like this. What am I supposed to do?
If you're
No
going to watch
restraint.
this stuff, you got to bet it. There's no other way to watch it. Actually, I have to come clean. I took Pennington decision at plus 280 after round 1, and I took Kianzad decision plus 280 after round 2. Because I didn't know what the fuck was
betting machine.
Didn't know what the fuck was going to happen in that one.
Didn't matter. Didn't care.
Nope.
That's nice.
Next up, light heavyweight division. You talked about Trudeau being Teflon, but the real Teflon Don, with a decision over Mike Rodriguez, and it turns out Mike Rodriguez is the slowest man at light heavyweights. Wes?
Yeah, I had a bet on our boy Teflon. Mike Rodriguez just fucking sucks, man. Like, I'm actually glad this shit happened to him.
That was so fucked up.
I'm happy now. He deserves it. He's that terrible that he deserves it.
Dude had his career ruined. I mean, he didn't help, but his career got ruined by a fucking shitty ref.
He might be cut now because of that. Because of losing
gone.
2
He's done.
shit. Yep.
Oh, poor bastard.
He should probably learn how to wrestle.
Oh,
I will say
that's what you have to do.
And probably learn how to be faster.
I know Teflon like moved up weight here, but either Mike Rodriguez has just an unbelievable chin, or Teflon just can't hit at 205, man.
He doesn't have the power that he looks like he has.
Dude, he was landing bomb after bomb, and Mike Rodriguez didn't even make a face, didn't have a fucking bruise, nothing. That ain't good. The dude looks like he should knock you out like I don't want to go Dick Willie level, but he's got the look of he should be knocking you out with those punches. And man, they didn't even fucking slow down. Oh, slow Mike.
Nope. Little decision. I think that this train may be over, but decision prop against Pickett and decision prop against Rodriguez on the old Teflon, because he. Even on his Contender Series fight, he eventually stopped the guy with like a big old head kick, but I don't know. He just doesn't seem to have that big power in his hands.
Deceiving.
Yep.
Them muscles.
Throw him in there with Dick Willie next. See what happens.
Yeah, that would be very bad.
Buckley. Go ahead.
I was calling him Bodice Bukaki all week at work and didn't even realize. It sticks, man. It sticks.
That's
polluting your brain.
I was doing the same thing. The whole fight I'm saying, if you don't want to be, if you're wrong, I don't want to be right. Like I couldn't stop saying that shit.
This podcast will give you brain worms, but the good kind. All right. Next up, middleweight division. Joaquin Buckley. Man, you couldn't just let this go to decision, Joaquin. What are you doing to me? Takes out Antonio Arroyo. That was a nice, filthy uppercut combination to end the fight.
Yeah.
But
I'll give him that.
2 minutes, 26 seconds of the third round. Really didn't see it coming at that point in the fight. But, we talked about a guy that doesn't look like he has a ton of power, or it looks like he has a ton of power but doesn't. This is a guy that looks like he has a ton of power and carries it through the fight.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what, he needs it because he fucking sucks.
Yeah, he's not good.
Buckley is not good at all. I had Arroyo in this fight. He was cruising, absolutely cruising. I knew that was there the whole time, though. To this midget, the tall guy shit showed up. I mean, the head's up in the air and shit, man, and Buckley got him, but Buckley's not even a fade plant. This dude's in full bloom, and I'm taking.
Is he your new Black Beast, Wes?
Ooh,
he's way more skilled than Black Beast ever thought about being. Buckley knows how to strike.
I love it.
He ain't great though, man, and he got away with another one here, man. Like Arroyo was fucking schooling him that entire fucking fight. He caught him, man. Give me plus money against Buckley again, and I'm probably this might end up being my Black Beast, so it's gonna happen. This dude's gonna get his shit pushed in for fucking 10 minutes, 12 minutes, and then he's gonna catch him. Watch.
Love it.
Yeah. The only time that I was confident in him was against the Beverly Hills Ninja, and even that, like,
I bet against him in that one. Yeah, that was a bad bet. And I'd say don't get me wrong, but it just, man, I don't find him great. I really don't.
No. Speaking of bad bets,
Speaking of good bets,
ever betting against the man ass is a bad bet. Like, this dude can just take a pounding, and then everything is like, he's like Elastic Man. Everything just goes right back to where it was, and he comes back out like nothing happened the next round. Just crazy. He fought Mook Sanders last time. He's like the reverse Mook Sanders.
Yeah, I needed a shitty ref in this fight because I had a small bet on Gravely in a parlay, and that looked close to being done. I needed an itchy trigger finger a ref in there, but of course I can't get that. And then Gravely just gets flatlined. Oh, that was a good comeback, that's for sure.
I didn't see it ending like that, but. Yeah, I took some of that nice plus money on the old man ass in this spot. I don't know, just Gravely's okay, man. He's got some okay skills, but in spots like this one, he's juiced up like that. Man ass
he was seconds away from finishing your
but man ass is he's tough, like a man that's been pounded a lot, and the guy stays in there, man. But you're right. He had him. I mean, a lot of refs would have stepped in and probably stopped that.
It felt like even going like back to his corner that it could have been stopped at any point in between rounds, and then he came out and he still didn't.
Yes, good thing they didn't, because he seemed good after that.
Even at the start of the second round, he didn't look great, but then like 30 seconds or so in, it seemed like he got his legs back and
did what he did.
Yep. Next up, lightweight division. Arm and Hammer takes out my boy Iago. Plucked a couple feathers off of him in this one. I've had a hard time believing the hype on Armin, but
he's good, man.
I thought he was one of those guys, like, he's good in the way where it's just nobody's able to do stuff to him. Whereas, like, rather than him dominating other people, but it seems like he might be in that category where he can start dominating people. I mean, it is Iago, so
it is Iago.
That's a tough guy though. Like, whatever you think about Iago, getting him out of there like that, not a lot of dudes can have done that. I think he's good, man. We'll see. He's gonna get some competition now. Like, I think they're gonna start giving him some bigger fights. I'd like to see. I mean, sign me up for him and Hooker, but I don't know if Hooker's even gonna fight this weekend. That's a fight that I don't even think we know is happening yet.
Apparently, he's got like a broken rib or something from that.
Yeah,
fight,
yeah.
so.
They weren't gonna put him in there like 2 weeks later. Whether he had a broken rib or not, but
no.
I mean, that fight'd be fun. But I think he's gonna get a bump up in some competition now, and we'll see. I think he's the goods, honestly.
Yep.
I mean, you said that there's not a lot of people that have gotten Iago out of there like that. The other guys that have finished him in his career are DuBronx, Josh Emmett, Gilbert Burns, and the legend, the Tachi Palace King, Poppies Martinez.
I was
that one's a little.
It's probably been 4 or 5 months now, and I was going still doing my rewatch of all the orgs and stuff, and I'm pretty well into WEC, and this was about 4 or 5 months ago. And man, early WC was Poppy Martinez just down there slobber knocking. So just so many dudes they pulled out of fucking local biker bars and shit. Poppy Martinez had some of the worst fucking dude. The physical condition of this guy isn't great, but he could scrap. Like, he was one of the early ones that was a fighter, where these other dudes were just wanting to be. He was a fighter.
Poppies Martinez and Tony Puddings are the only 155ers ever that belong in the T-shirt in the pool division.
That's quite an accomplishment right there.
Damn right. Next up, Ariane Lipsky defeated Mandy Baum, and did she ever bomb in this one? Woof.
Yeah.
Okay. Co-main event. I know you guys all hated this. I loved it. I had me some cute labia decision. I know you guys were all on the TKO inside the distance.
Yep.
I mean, at least you got something inside in that fight, and it was Devin Clark's teeth inside his mouth. But that was about it.
Yeah, that was fucking nasty, and I was hoping they was gonna stop the fight. Like, it was pretty bad, but Devin Clark's a tough fucking guy. I ended up having cute labia and a D-Gen parlay too, so that kind of saved me. But how he doesn't get him out? What is it? The first round? Maybe the second round too?
Mounted in damn near every round.
Multiple times was mounted on.
He could not finish. Like, that is a bad fucking look.
Shocked he couldn't get Devin Clark.
Bad.
Yep.
Bad.
He's good though. Like, I think he's
good when he's not a moron.
When he
is a moron.
But when he can fight like that, I don't know. He's always going to get a little wild in spots and fights. That's okay. But man, if he's going to use his wrestling like that and get guys down and fucking use his ground and pound, that's a dangerous fucking guy. Like, very fucking dangerous.
Yeah, absolutely.
Especially at that weight class.
Yeah, the shittiest weight class.
I mean, is he like
of the real ones? He
is like the physical specimen at 205 now. Like, it's cute lady and a bunch of bums down there. Except the guy that's about to win his first belt.
Yeah,
I can't wait to.
Speaking of a couple of bums, Anthony Smith main eventing for the 1800th time in the last 2 years because everybody wants to fight. And he blew Ryan Spann out. I did not think it was going to be this quick, but it was.
Yeah.
I bet Spann in this spot. I've watched Anthony Smith for years and years and years, and I still don't think the guy's very good. I mean,
that's how shitty light heavyweight is.
It is, man. And like, I talked myself into Spann, and I shouldn't have, because he sucks too. Like, he's lost to some shitty dudes, but Anthony Smith's gonna get me. I'm gonna get this motherfucker. Like, he's he's not great, dude. Like, how many beatdowns has this guy taken over the past 2 years? Like, ass whoopings where he's like Ortega from 5 years ago, to where he gets his ass whooped and then catches him every single time. Props to him. Like, all props to him.
Black Beast.
No, he's not. No, he's not. He's way more skilled than Black Beast to ever be. Just like Buckley.
No,
but yeah,
he's
you're
got
right.
some similarities.
You're right.
He does come back when his opponents, gas out or do something stupid. And then when he fights, top 5, he gets smoked. Usually.
Yeah. He's not great though. I don't know. He's gonna get a guy next time out, probably, that he's gonna get smoked, and hopefully
that's the dumbest. Why are we doing that? The first fight was horrible. Why do we need? And it wasn't even that long ago. Why are we doing it again?
If they
seriously doing that fight,
if
they
Rakic
is doing,
if they actually do that, I mean, you can't lay it. Give me anything minus 200 or below. It's a banger. It's going to be a banger if I can get something like it.
You're going to get minus 400.
I don't know.
I don't know, man.
Rakic was boring in his last fight, and Smith just got an impressive finish.
And it seems like the public loves Anthony Smith. Like, everybody I see talking, Anthony Smith, he's tough. He's got skills. His ground game's unbelievable. All right, bro.
I mean, he closed minus 250 last time, and he clean swept him. I have a hard time believing it'll be cheaper than 400, maybe 350.
We shall see.
But
I pray you're wrong, because that is an absolute banger.
All I know is that the decision prop for Rakic is not going to be as nice as it was last time. All right, that does it for UFC Vegas, whatever that was. Moving on to this weekend, we have UFC 266. This is like the 4th year out of the last 6 that I have had a wedding to go to on my birthday weekend. It's good in one way, because like open bar, so you get to party, but it's not like the party I would have chosen. But there's been some good fights I've missed over the years because of these weddings. Going back a little bit further than 6 years, but Jones and Gustafsson, it was on like this similar time of year, and I was at a wedding and I missed it live, and that's why I've never liked that fight as much as everybody else. So everybody else got to watch it live, and I watched it after the fact, and I already knew Jones won and scored it accordingly because Jones did win. Anyways, we've got a good main event, a co-main event, a weird blast from the past, and some kind of cool shit on this card. So, MMA getting more back to the fun part of MMA, even if some of that fun is a little bit depressing in this one. But yeah, we'll go top to bottom as we always do, break them down for you, and see what we got. So kicking it off in the featherweight division, we have Omar Moraes taking on the JSP.
R.I.P. Mike.
Damn right.
The Ravens the other night playing that.
Whistle?
That was badass. Like that was some cool shit.
Yep. JSP won me a shit ton of money last time out. I think I had him inside, him TKO, something like that. So I'll always enjoy watching him fight after just doing that for me. This fight is kind of tough because like his striking is not great. He does throw a decent amount of volume, but he's kind of best when he's able to wrestle and create scrambles. I don't know if he's going to be able to get Moraes down. I think he'll struggle more against him than he has the last couple guys he's fought and was able to take down. So if this stays on the feet, like Moraes is, I think, the better striker, but he doesn't throw. as much as he probably should. And JSP does throw, and it's shittier technique, but it might be enough here. So I'm staying away. I'll pick JSP just because he's a plus money. I think it'll probably be a fairly close fight.
Wes?
Yeah, I think it's going to be a coin flip fight. I feel like, I don't know if Moraes is going to necessarily be the bigger guy here, but I think he's the more physical guy if it gets in those in that kind of realm of fighting. I don't see JSP getting him out of there like Moraes just doesn't get finished. I think he's only lost once. He lost to Giga a couple fights back. That's his only loss. He's fought some okay competition. He's just getting kind of old at this point, but I think Sean's right. I think his striking's definitely more technical than JSP. So we'll see. I think either way this goes 15 minutes, and I don't know. I lean Moraes here, getting kind of a close decision, but I wouldn't want to lay any juice on him in this spot. So he'll be my pick by in a very close coin flip decision, but no bet for me.
I think I'm going JSP in this one. I agree that Moraes is, or at least looks like, the more physical of the two in this fight. He's definitely got the better hands, and maybe the Giga fight was just him not throwing his hands because Giga's a dangerous fighter. And that loss doesn't look so bad looking back on it now. But I just think JSP is going to do too much in this fight. He might not be the cleaner striker, but he's going to throw more. He might not be able to dominate the grappling exchanges, but I think he's definitely going to be able to get in and get some takedowns. I mean, Shane Young was able to take Moraes down in his last fight. I think Pearce is a better wrestler than some shitty Australian guy. So I think he can get some takedowns, get some scrambles. As Wes said, Moraes is getting older, 35 for a featherweight is getting up there. And if there's one thing that Pearce has, it's good cardio, and he'll keep that pressure up and kind of use it to break guys. I don't think he'll be able to break Moraes, but I think he can do enough in order to win a decision. So I like Pearce. I'll take a little bit of the dog money, and I'll probably sprinkle on the decision prop. It's like plus 330 right now.
I think your boy Nick is taking the psychedelics before he.
What's he doing now?
He did an interview with since he didn't do media day again, he doesn't skip that, but he did an interview with
Brett
Agamotto, yeah. And, he said he shouldn't be fighting Robbie Lawler. He should be fighting Usman. I think I'll beat the shit out of Usman. He said I got a better shot of beating Usman than I do Lawler.
But he's the one that's fucking changing weights. Like, bro, you can't even make 170, and you're like, yeah, I want to take out Usman. Not at 170. I'll fight him at 185.
Hey, do you guys remember what he did to Anderson Silva? He beat the shit out of Izzy. Izzy doesn't have a chance against Nick Diaz.
I love some Diaz, man, but goddamn, there's not two more delusional motherfuckers when it comes to their place. Like, seriously. This dude ain't fought in 6 years. He's like, I should be fighting for the title. I should be fighting Lawler.
It's bad. Oh well, what are you gonna do?
I'll enjoy watching that for all the giggles.
I'm glad that you had that to break up this next fight, Wes, because I have no idea what the fuck this is. You got a 4-2 guy, 4-2-1. Hasn't fought since 2017. 3-fight winless streak.
Is he short?
But he's buddies with Nick Diaz.
That's right. Yeah,
hasn't won since 2014, and it's not even a late replacement.
Hey, he has a more recent win than Diaz.
That's
so
true.
Obviously, he's on the card.
That's fucked up. Man.
Oh shit. Yeah, that's a thing. Semelsberger against Martin Sano. Mart Insano. There you go. Sean?
I don't have much here. It's quite hilarious that this fight is happening, and the odds. Like, if I told you that Matthew Semelsberger would be a -600 favorite in the UFC against anybody, I'm sure you would call bullshit. But this is where we're at, and he probably should be a -600 favorite.
Everybody wants to fight, baby.
Everyone does. I would assume he gets a finish. He's got lots of knockouts. He seems like he has decent power. Who the fuck knows? Who knows what this? There's no way he's making 170. Like he's gonna come in at like 174 or some shit. Like
y'all gave Nick 15 pounds.
Yeah, like what the fuck? I only want 4.
They just don't have proper scales in Stockton.
Right. They get the broken
second-hand
ones.
They just don't have people weighing scales in Stockton. They got a lot of
those max out a couple
yeah.
They've just got like 12 weed scales lined up.
Yep.
They're like, all right, disperse your weight, man.
Just lay on.
Hey,
you're good.
Let's check weight. Fucking Nick pulls out. He pulls out a triple beam out of a double bag. Oh my god. Yeah, I think Smelly Burger is going to get a finish here. -165 at this point. I'm not sure you really want to lay that, but I think he's going to get this guy out of there.
Yeah, I don't have any actual opinion on this fight. I don't know how you could. Semelsberger should win because he is an active fighter, and the other guy's not. Next up, this one is another Diaz buddy who's coming down in weight. Whoa, let's see how this goes. We got Nick Maximov taking on late replacement Cody Brundage.
Very late.
Cody Brundage of losing to Thick Willie on Dana White's Contender Series fame.
Beat a guy named Joseph Crotchshot. Is it?
Ooh,
shot.
Crotchshot? Oh man,
is that his go-to move?
I'm sure we'll see one of those on Saturday.
Do they even have a line out for this fight yet?
They do.
They do. Maximov -215.
Yeah,
-210. Oh,
like
it's
that.
already moved a bunch at Bet Online. Brundage was +185 when I looked a little while ago at Bet Online. Apparently, he opened at 275 a few hours ago.
I probably wouldn't have hated a small sprinkle on Brundage at a price like that.
No, not at all.
I liked Maximov in the original matchup against Roberson. I think he was going to take Roberson down and probably sub him on the ground. This one might be a little tougher because Brundage does have some decent wrestling, so I think it's going to be tougher for Maximov to get this to the ground, and his striking is still a work in progress. That's for sure. So definitely would have taken some big plus money on Brundage. I'll pick him, but no bets for me on that one.
Yeah, I probably would have sprinkled on the 275. Is there a total out?
No, not yet.
Yeah, I might look at some under here if it's a okay price. Short notice. Brundage probably going to go for it. He either gets finished or finish guys. Yeah, I might look at the under depending on the price.
Yeah, Brundage isn't bad. I think he's actually a good prospect. It's really hard to judge Maximov off of his Contender Series fights, and he hasn't fought anybody decent on the regional scene. A whole bunch of like 1-0 guys and 0-1 guys and 1-10 guy mixed in there for good measure. We've done a bunch of grappling tournaments and I would assume that he's got a pretty good sub game, being one of Diaz's guys. But man, Brundage looked good. He made the mistake of when he fought Thick Willie. He got the back, he flattened him out, and then Willie just, he hit the switch, and and it just popped him right out of that back control, and then it was over from there. So I think that
it was pre-Venom, wasn't it? That was like pre-Venom problems.
Exactly. Now you got it. I think that Brundage has the wrestling advantage here, and that means he's either going to be on top and raining stuff down, or he's going to be able to just keep it standing. And I don't think Maximov has a whole lot on the feet. From what we saw in Contender Series, he was fighting a heavyweight, but he even struggled at times to get takedowns. But then that guy was an idiot and, tried to grab some guillotines and stuff and just ended up on his back. So, I would have taken the Brundage, plus 200, plus 185 up to. It just keeps dropping every time I see it now. So I'm not sure that I can still play it, but he's going to be the pick. Next up, 155. We've got my boy, call him Medic, but not for Medić, taking on Jalen Turner. Another one of the way too tall for his weight class, cuts too much weight, and gasses because of it, guys. This one should be entertaining for as long as it lasts. Sean?
Yeah, this is going to be a fun one. Both these guys have a pretty high pace for however long it lasts. Turner's definitely has some big power, but man, the guys that he's beat in the UFC is a pretty terrible list. Brock Weaver, we know what the deal is with him. Kulabau, Callan Potter, that is not great. Now, I'm not saying Medić has beaten some amazing fighters in his UFC career, but that being said, I think Medić has a better overall game. I think he'll do all right on the feet, and if it goes to the ground, I think Turner's in trouble. I'm going to take a small shot on Medić. The under 2.5 is like minus 130. That's pretty cheap for guys that almost always finish, and in Turner's case, most of the time get finished when he loses. So I'll probably have a play on that as well.
Wes?
Yeah, it's pretty good. I mean, Medić hasn't. I mean, he's been out of the first round like once in like 7 or 8 fights. Like, yeah, that dude finishes fights. Yeah, I like Medić in this fight too. I think he's, it's going to be comparable on the feet. I don't think he's so outclassed by Turner. Turner is going to have that range on him and that length, but man, Medić gets in on guys when he wants to, and I just think if things do start going bad for him on the feet, he's got that wrestling. He's got takedowns, and Turner's his takedown defense isn't the best. And then once it's on the mat, man, it's not even close. So better all around game. More ways to win the fight. I think it does end up on the mat with Medić on top, raining down some stuff and the ref stepping in. So yeah, I like Medić quite a bit in this spot. It's actually one of my fave spots on the entire card, and I don't hate that under either. I think either way, even if Turner does somehow pull something off, it's going to be him connecting with something and hurting Medić and probably getting him out of there. So yeah, that under is a good spot as well. But I like Medić quite a bit in this spot, and he's going to be a pretty good bet for me.
Yeah, I'm with you guys on this one. Turner has the reach advantage, but I don't think that's going to play a huge role in this one because Medić is a good kicker when they're on the outside, and he does a good job of closing distance when he wants to as well. And Turner doesn't have like that big power that really keeps guys at bay. So I think Medić is going to be fine out there. As you said, when it gets inside, he's definitely going to be the better guy if they go to the ground. And yeah, I think that you've got a guy like him that's already a good kicker, and now he's at a camp like King's MMA with Cordero, where like that dude knows how to set up body kicks for southpaws better than any coach anywhere, really. And you've got Turner, who's super tall for the division. Those guys, as Sean knows, always very skinny, very weak to the body. So I wouldn't be shocked to see Medić come in with a liver kick and hurt Turner in this one and put him away. But I like Medić. In the event that Turner does finish or get the win here, I think it's going to be a finish of his own. So Medić at minus 125, minus 118 at Bet Online, or the under 2.5 at minus 130. I like both of those. So Uros Medoc is going to be the consensus bet of the week, getting it out of the way early before we get onto all the real fights, like women's flyweight division, Roxanne Modafferi against Taila Santos. Is Modafferi going to do it again? Is she going to win another fight?
I don't know.
I mean, go for it, Sean. Let me hear why not.
I've bet Roxy a bunch at some huge odds. I think they're giving her some actually not great matchups lately. She got absolutely whooped by Arujau. Lauren Murphy did what Lauren Murphy does. They aren't giving her great stylistic matchups anymore for what she does. She's. I don't think she's going to get Santos down. I think Santos can even take her down. Roxy's tough as fuck though, so I don't really see Santos finishing. So it might get sloppy, and maybe Roxy can somehow come back in this fight, but I just don't see it. Roxy usually really capitalize on fighters that fuck up and do stupid shit. Santos is a little bit smarter than that. I might take a stab at Santos by decision at minus 135. It's a little juicy. Roxy is tough. I think Santos can win another wide decision.
Yeah, I mean, either which way you're going here, definitely take decision, because this is going to go 15 minutes. But and Santos isn't great or anything, man. Like
she doesn't have to be in this weight class.
Well,
she's whooped on fucking her last two chicks, and is Roxy better than those two chicks?
I don't know if she's got to be necessarily, but like this isn't Arujau or Murphy either. You know what I'm saying? Like the two chicks that fucked her up in her last couple fights. I don't think Santos is them. I'm not saying that Roxy's gonna win this fight, but plus 500, like, is Santos like? I don't know. I'm probably not gonna pull the trigger again. I've done it the past couple of times, taking Roxy at a big number by decision, and she's gotten absolutely obliterated, which she should in most of these matchups, and she probably will here too. But man, it's such low level shit, man. In a fight that you know is going to go 15 minutes, a chick that you know is going to stay in there for 15 minutes, plus 500 is just, it's kind of enticing, but I'm going to stay away from now. Let's see how I'm feeling Saturday. If I want to get degenerate, I might sprinkle on that.
I played Modafferi plus 3.5 last time out, and that didn't have a shot.
This girl isn't Arujau though. Like, she's not even close to that.
So you can get it at Bet Online, or sorry, at 5 dimes if anybody has
Plus
that. It's
110.
at plus 110. I thought that would be a little bit bigger number if she's plus 500, but I guess the bookmakers aren't confident in.
Well, she's not plus 500. She's plus 500 by decision.
Yeah, by decision.
I know, but that's basically her anyway.
I know.
Right? So,
That's why that's what you take in this spot.
yeah. All right.
Yeah, I just, obviously Santos has physical advantages here. That's every fight in Modafferi's entire career. She's had a physical disadvantage. And I think that, we saw in her last fight that Santos is more than willing to grapple, except in her last fight, she was grappling against somebody who was willing to lay on bottom and try and throw up sub attempts. As mooky as women's MMA can be at times, Modafferi knows how to win rounds. She knows how to win rounds. She knows that she's not going to catch a sub from the bottom, or she shouldn't be able to catch a sub from the bottom. She's going to try and scramble and sweep and get on top and really wear somebody out. And I'm interested to see what happens, by the 7-8 minute mark if Santos just can't completely control her the whole time, which she might be able to do. She should be able to do, given the advantages that she has. I would expect that Santos can either none of them can keep each other at range. The distance is going to be closed in this fight, but it's just a matter of, can she stick around on top and ride out a decision, or are there going to be actual scrambles in this fight? I think if there's scrambles, then it could get interesting, and yeah, I might sprinkle on that decision plus 550. Why not? Next up, heavyweight division. Hopefully we get Wes back in before we get to him on this one, because I know he's excited about Sharif Abdurakhimov taking on Chris Daukaus of the famed Daukaus brothers. Sean, what do you got for us here?
Yeah, this is an interesting matchup. You got a guy who's fought 3 times in the pandemic. He's jumping up the rankings in the old T-shirt division. Last time out, he
slimmed down.
He
slimmed down.
Yeah, he has slimmed down. It was the pandemic was good for him. He actually slimmed down and might have an ab now.
Yeah, and Sharif, before people ask, Sharif is disqualified from the T-shirt in the pool division because it doesn't count if you're already wearing a sweater.
Yeah, he has a sweater on. It's bullshit. But yeah, Daukaus, the big Daukaus, did what he had to do, and it was impressive putting out Oleinik. I know Oleinik's old as fuck, but I mean, there is not that many fighters that can do it with ease. So that's still a decent win. Abdurakhimov hasn't fought in 2 years. He's now 40, going on 52. I think this is gonna he's gonna look like he's underwater. I think the big Daukaus is gonna be much quicker, and he's gonna finish him. So I was looking at inside the distance when I looked last. It was like plus 105. I think that's a decent play around that number.
Wes? Yeah, I mean, and our boy Daukaus, when you can forget getting out the old man Alexei, when you can get the man Parker Porter out of there in the first round, now we're talking some impressive stuff. Yeah, I think Sean's right here. I think Daukaus is just, he's not great or anything, but he's better than this dude. 40 years old, hasn't fought in a couple years, coming off just an obliteration. Yeah, I like Daukaus inside the distance. I don't hate the under either. I think that kind of gives you a little bit of cover in case our boy Abdurakhimov pulls something out of his ass. But I think Dukakis should style here. Fighting a dude that hasn't fought in 2 years, 40 years old. Yeah, him inside the distance at plus money. I don't hate that at all.
Yeah, this this one got rescheduled a couple times. I'm not really sure. One of them was for COVID stuff for Sharif and team. I'm not sure if it was actually him or not. And the other one just looked like it got rescheduled. But yeah, I'm right on board. We're big Dukakis fans here on the MMA Analysis. We've been on the train since day one, and things are starting to come around. We didn't necessarily think that it would be Chris. We didn't think it would be the big Dukakis coming through.
Yep,
we thought that the medium Dukakis had a little more potential, but it turns out even we can be wrong every once in a while. It doesn't happen a lot, just like every once in a while, every fight or so. But yeah, there's going to be a big speed difference here. I don't think that Sharif has the best chin to begin with. Now he's getting a bunch older. Dukakis has pretty good hands, much faster. I think the writing is kind of on the wall here for someone who normally loves to see a fatties come through in this spot. I'm not even really considering it. If anything, it looks like Dimes is the only place that has the alternate totals up. Under 1.5 here is plus 130, but under 2.5 is minus 145, and I kind of like that a bit better, even though I think that Dukakis probably gets it done in round 1. Are we on the main card yet? Jesus, we're not on the main card yet. All right.
Not quite.
This fight might not even happen, so I don't think we're going to spend a ton of time on it. But Dan Hooker is trying to get his work visa all sorted out or something. I don't know. There's some issue that the U.S. has with sex workers coming into the country. I don't know. You put Hooker on that application, and they don't know what to think. And Nasrat Haqparast. I mean, I don't need to speak for the issues that the U.S. has with people with those kind of names, but obviously there's some problems there. So neither of these guys can get into the country, so this fight might not even happen. But if it does, should be fun. Sean?
Yeah, it'll be a fun fight if it does happen. I was kind of hoping for a better number on Haqparast. I've kind of backed him a bit recently. That knockout loss to Dober is what it is. Lesser people have, or that the power that Dober has is pretty high up there. So I guess that's not a bad loss. He's kind of a frustrating fighter, but Dan Hooker has been in some wars lately. This is like last time was the first time that he really got like put clean out. Like obviously Barboza had the TKO, but that was just an accumulation. Chandler absolutely flatlined the dude. You never know what a fighter's gonna react coming off a loss like that. So I'll pick Hooker. He's the better fighter, but I think this is a scary matchup for him against a guy that doesn't have a big name. It's kind of a weird matchup. He's been fighting fairly well-known fighters a bunch, and now he's fighting Haqparast. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't think this fight's gonna happen. I know Dana thinks he can get anything done. His boy's not in the White House anymore, so I don't know. But he said now it's Haqparast they can't get here. Like Hooker's gonna get here.
Hooker's all good. It's Haqparast.
Yeah,
that's the issue.
It's Haqparast that's probably not gonna make it here. The way it was looking like yesterday. Dana said it's gonna happen, but that bald bozo fuck says a lot of shit. So
Jeremy Stevens is gonna fight Eve Edwards tonight, man. You watch and you see.
That legendary shit right there. Yeah, I guess if it does happen, I kind of lean Hooker here as a bet. I don't know. It's just worrisome. Sean listed all the shit like, just the Barboza beating. I know he came back from that and won a few fights, but man, that Chandler, you get clean knocked out like that. That's kind of career changing shit right there, especially at this point. The guy's been in a lot of tough fights, but I still think he uses his length very well, and I think he could keep it on the outside and kind of pick Haqparast apart. Sean did say something that, Haqparast, he's a frustrating fighter sometimes, man. Sometimes he just doesn't do enough, doesn't throw enough. So I lean Hooker in this spot, man, but there's just way too many red flags for me to touch him. If the line keeps coming down, man, like Sean said he was hoping to see a bigger number on Haqparast. I thought there was going to be a bigger number. I figured Hooker would be favored by a little bit more, but if I get even money or something like that, crazily, I'll probably sprinkle. But we probably won't see that, so it's gonna be a pass for me.
I'm leaning towards Dan Hooker in this one, which pains me to say, because I do not like Dan Hooker. So if I'm thinking about it, that it must be pretty serious. And I think the issue here is, he got knocked out by Michael Chandler. He was a bigger favorite against Michael Chandler than he currently is against Nasrat Haqparast.
That's crazy.
Like, something there doesn't add up to me. And I bet Chandler in that fight, obviously.
Bet Chandler big.
Not an idiot. But Haqparast doesn't have huge power. He's got decent hands. He doesn't have great hands. It's not like he's going out there and outboxing, excellent lightweights or anything. I mean, half a Garcia, not even 3/4 of a Garcia, was a massive favorite in his last fight because he got soundly outboxed by Haqparast. And then he loses to, who's the Grutzemacher. He lost to the Grits. So, he's not going out there and putting on shows against good fighters. I'm kind of leaning towards Hooker in this. At least he's consistently been there against good guys. And say what you will about his defense or lack thereof, and the fact that he's taken a bunch of damage in those fights, he's also been competitive. So that he's going to dish it out as well. And I think that he can do a whole lot more dishing than Haqparast has taken against anybody but Drew Dober. And doesn't necessarily mean that I think Hooker's going to finish him, but I think Hooker's definitely going to be able to put some offense on Haqparast and at the very least win a decision in this one. Next up in the... God damn it. Still not the main fight. Prelim headliner. Good fight, though. Good fight.
Yeah.
Bantamweight division. Of course it's a good fight. It's in the bantamweight division. Best division in MMA right now. Maybe featherweight, but probably bantamweight. Marlon Moraes is trying to do something with his career right now, and he's taking on our boy, the Georgian snooze machine.
Yes!
Best
name off the podcast. Period.
Sean, how many times should I tap the alarm during this one? What do you think?
I think you're gonna tap it less than 2.5 times. Moraes, this is a bad matchup for him. He is offensively talented. He could definitely catch Dvalishvili, but if he doesn't catch him early, I don't give him much of a chance at all. He might catch him coming in. It is always a possibility. I think you can get like plus 900, 950 at some places. If you like Moraes, you got to be playing a bit of that. Even if you're playing Dvalishvili and you want to hedge a tiny bit, I think it's not a bad hedge spot. But Dvalishvili pushes a pace, and Moraes doesn't really like that. The times that he's won in the UFC, either he's caught people early, or he has a slow kind of plodding fight. And Dvalishvili is not going to do that. He's going to push the pace. He's going to wrestle. Moraes is going to get tired if he doesn't catch him early. And Dvalishvili might finally get a finish. He doesn't have a single finish in the UFC, and he might just do it against Marlon Moraes. I think that's more on me saying that Moraes is going to... It's tough saying he's going to quit, but like he is really going to be in a bad spot if he doesn't catch him early.
He might just be so gassed where he has no choice.
He might be so gassed that it's just going to be
he doesn't take
a
damage
ground and pound.
well. We'll say that.
Yeah, that is definitely the case. So, I don't mind Merab. I'll probably put him in a parlay. Under 2.5 is plus 165 at some places. I think that's worth a shot as well.
Wes?
Yeah, this is gonna pain me because most people know how big of a Marlon Moraes fan I've been for.
We wanted Moraes to be more like Gaethje, not like some of these other Bellator's guys that crushed and then came to the UFC and did not too much.
Yeah, I mean, and he should be on like a 4 or 5 fight losing streak at this point, man. And Brad said like doesn't take damage well at all anymore. Like he's just, it's gonna be bad here, man. I think Sean hit it all on the head, man. Dvalishvili, those snooze machine is gonna put a pace on him, man. That Moraes just isn't gonna like. If Moraes can't catch him with something big within the first few minutes, he's in some serious trouble. Like even when he was, looking good in fights and stuff, like that gas tank still wasn't the best. I don't think this is gonna be good for him, man. I like the snooze machine in this spot. I'll definitely have him in a parlay with something, and the sprinkle on that under is got a good spot as well, because if you do think Moraes is going to get him out of there, that under is definitely going to cash if Moraes wins. And I'm not so sure about the snooze machine even finishing Marlon Moraes, though. It's going to have to be Marlon Moraes dead, face down, from not being able to catch air in his lungs for those snooze machine to get him out of there. It's possible though. Like it's going to be a pace like Marlon hasn't seen in a while. So yeah, I like the snooze machine here.
I'm having an internal debate right now.
I bet.
Like Moraes, I just looked it up on 365, and Moraes round 1 is plus 1,000, which like.
Well, you take a little of that for sure. You got.
So that's this angel here, and then the devil over here is like, yeah, but the snooze machine is plus 1,400 round 3. And,
why not both? Get them. Why not both?
Yeah, I honestly see it the same way that you guys said. If Moraes doesn't get it done within the first couple of minutes, then this is going to turn into a very bad night for him. The actual play that I'm looking at is, Sean mentioned the under 2.5. I think that's good. I think Dvalishvili, snooze machine, minus 3.5 at dimes is plus money. And if he wins this fight, that covers your wide decision or your finish for him, which is a cowardly move on my part. But it's hard to trust this guy to get a finish with what we've seen, and even before the UFC, it's not like he was going out there and just smoking dudes. It was a lot of decisions, but man, something in the back of my mind, or maybe it's this little dude on the shoulder here. He's saying round three. So I might have to might have to take the snooze machine, only hit that button twice, and then actually get up the second time, because I'm waiting for that finish in the third round.
I have some breaking news. I have some breaking news, Brad. It's very important. Miesha Tate has been forced out of her main event fight against Ketlin Vieira on October 16th. We need a new main event. Whatever are we going to do?
They'll pull a chick off of the Warm Body Farm show and put her in the main event against that girl. Watch.
Can't wait.
What's Sarah Alpar up to?
Yeah, no doubt.
Wow. Yeah, that's I don't know how we're gonna move on from that. But next up, main card, flyweight division. One of the more fun female fighters to watch, both in the ring and on OnlyFans. Jessica Andrade. Is that extra now that she's making real money? Now that she's got that OnlyFans, living that OnlyFans life. Do you think that's going to hurt her motivation going in there against Cynthia Calvillo? Sean, I need to know.
It's tough because on one hand, she has a bunch of money now so that she can afford to train better. But then does she really want to fight if she can just make more money doing that? It's a conundrum. I'm not too sure. Maybe we'll find out Saturday. I think she's this is a pretty decent stylistic matchup for her. Calvillo usually needs to go for takedowns to do well in fights. I know Shevchenko took Andrade down a bunch and then smashed her. I don't think anyone's near Shevchenko, so I don't know if that's a good comparison. I think Andrade against non-Shevchenkos at 125 can hold her own, and she'll probably be doing better offensively and might even take Calvillo down. Around minus 250, I think that's worth a small bet. I've always liked Andrade. I pretty much bet her every time. I didn't against Shevchenko, obviously, because I'm not an idiot, but she's pretty good, and she forces fights and usually comes forward, and I think she can win a decision here.
Wesley.
Yeah, I think these are the type of level fights that, I mean, Shevchenko's just too good. I mean, she's just a different level. However you think about her fighting style or whatever, she's just a different level from everybody. I mean, watching the Mook again, pretty much body up Calvillo and shit, like Andrade. I think that's probably how it's going to play out more than Andrade's trying to get off power shots and shit. I think she's going to body her up, probably get some takedowns, some ground and pound. I don't know. It seems like Calvillo's gotten hype at different parts. She'll get a win and people start hyping her back up. I don't see it. She's lost to some pretty bad chicks. Been into really close fights with the likes of Courtney Casey and shit like that. Like Andrade is like, I still think she's probably the best fighter below Shevchenko, even though she's lost to Rose and Weili. Like that was kind of just a crazy one punch fight. So I still think she's, in my opinion, probably the best of those chicks. She's way better than Cynthia Calvillo, and at around that price, I'm definitely going to use her as a parlay piece.
Yeah, this doesn't make a lot of sense. Calvillo loses to Mook again. Andrade beats Mook again, so they match them up together. I know that obviously Andrade had the title shot between that, but
flyweight, baby.
I don't get it. This is a massive step up for Calvillo. She's not exactly young either. She's 34, so have to wonder really, what is her path here? If you couldn't take down Mook again, and now you're in there against a much more physical fighter in Andrade. I think that this is going to be a tough ask for her. So, has she ever been finished? I should probably know things like that before I start talking about a fight.
No.
She has not. Interesting. I wonder if that means that the price on Andrade to get a finish is anywhere decent, because no, it's not really.
Nope.
Huh. Inside plus 165, decision plus 175. Yeah, not a lot I love there. Maybe the money line in a parlay, but yeah, it's I don't know. I feel like this is kind of a paint by numbers kind of fight. So Andrade should take the win, and yeah, hopefully it'll be fun. Heavyweight division. This isn't Wes's boy, but it's about as close as you can get to Wes's boy without it being the one and only Black Beast. It's the West Indian Beast. Where's he from? Suriname?
Suriname.
Yeah, exactly. Also, as our boy Dan Tom likes to say, Jairzinho Rozenstruik, a part of the old fantasy Jewish fight team, doing some big things. And he has taken on Curtis Blaydes, who can kind of wrestle at heavyweight, which is like being able to wrestle very well at every other division. Sean?
Yeah, I didn't learn my lesson from last time where I had a bunch of money on Curtis Blaydes against the Black Beast. We got beasted. We got Black Beasted. It happens. I'm going right back at it. If he gets caught, he gets caught. These are heavyweights. Rozenstruik has big power. I think I'll much more often than not, Blaydes is gonna just wrestle him to death. I don't know if he gets a finish. Rozenstruik's fairly tough, unless you're Haganu. But Blaydes is kind of a head case when it comes to not being able to finish certain guys and able to finish other guys. It's kind of a crapshoot. So I'm not touching that either way. I did put Blaydes in a parlay with the main event to finish last week for a unit. I might add some more. He has the tools to win. He just doesn't have to he just can't get caught. That's simple, but he could get caught. So I guess we'll see how that goes. I like losing money when Blaydes gets knocked the fuck out. And I also like losing money to Rozenstruik. The Overeem special was a heart-wrenching moment in the old betting career, so that's always fun. But yeah, it's going to be Blaydes for me. What do you like, Wes?
Yeah, I'm right there with you. And I've done fairly well on Rozenstruik fights, picking for him or against him. I've actually made some decent money on his fights. Yeah, I mean, Blaydes is just way better. Like, Blaydes is probably the second best heavyweight in the UFC. Just, man, he finds a way sometimes to just get caught. And the Black Beast one is just Black Beast. I've learned my lesson at this point. Like, it could happen. That guy just pulls shit out of his ass. I don't think that's Rozenstruik. I don't think Rozenstruik's going to throw enough in this fight to bother Blaydes enough to stop him from getting inside, getting his takedowns, getting his clinch work off. Blaydes actually uses that shit in fights. So yeah, I like him in the spot. I think he kind of rolls here. It's gonna be one lucky punch type fight for Rozenstruik. I think he's gonna get bodied on. I still think Blaydes is really, really fucking good, man. He's a great heavyweight fighter. Just gotta find ways to not get in those spots to where he gets caught like that. And we'll see. It seemed like against Black Beast, he was doing that. He was fighting the perfect fight. Like, he couldn't have fought a better fight. It's Black Beast, man. It's just that guy. So Yeah, I like him here. I put him in a parlay with Andrade, and I like both of them. I think that cashes.
Yeah, I got to side Blaydes in this one as well. As you said, he was fighting a great fight against Lewis, but he seems to get into this pattern where he's like, okay, even if I'm doing good on the feet, I still got to shoot. And Lewis was just waiting on, even though Blaydes was beating the shit out of him.
Smoking him. Yeah, striking. He was smoking him in that fight.
Lewis was just waiting for that shot, and as soon as it came, that's when the knockout happened. And I think that Rozenstruik's a good enough striker that Blaydes isn't going to be like working him over on the feet. Maybe if they get into the clinch, he can do some good work there. But I don't think it's going to be that same sort of, like, he was almost confused about how well he was doing on the feet against Lewis. Which maybe that's Lewis's whole plan, is just confuse these dudes into knocking them out.
Belly is hypnotizing.
But I don't think that's going to happen here. I think that Blaydes is probably going to go to his wrestling early. I don't think that Rozenstruik has the defensive grappling or the ability to scramble like Lewis does, even if it's, as strange as it is. And yeah, I see Blaydes just controlling this for long periods of time. I'm not sure if he manages to get a TKO, because I think that Rozenstruik is decent defensively on the ground. Not great. He's not going to sub anybody. But I think he'll be able to avoid taking too much damage, at least early on. And so I'm kind of, got to pay a little juice for it. But I'm kind of thinking a little fatties here. You got a minus 155 over there at Bet Online, and I don't think that's too bad. Next up, it's Sean's main event. I mean, he's been having wet dreams about this one for, hey, when was the last time Nick Diaz fought? Like a decade ago?
6.5 years.
How many of the people watching this card do you think were watching MMA the last time Nick Diaz fought?
Man.
Like a percentage wise.
Well, I mean, you got to figure people that are, say, even like 18, 19 years old, they were like 12 the last time true. Nick Diaz fought.
I would say like 30%.
I'm telling you, dude. Like,
a better question is how many people are listening or watching MMA when he last won?
Nobody.
I mean, he's fought 4 times in a decade. 4 times.
You know what, Wes?
In the past 10 years.
It doesn't matter because he's getting my money. He's going to win.
Of course he is. Of course he is. He could actually be fighting Usman, and you would be betting Nick Diaz in this fight.
Hell yeah, I'd get like plus 5,000. Oh man! All right, here's the deal. So
yeah,
Robbie's shot. Robbie is shot. He will
Robbie's
not pull the trigger. Robbie is the guy that is shot in this matchup. Yeah, write it down. He could not pull the trigger against Magby. He just looked like he just was collecting a paycheck. Against Covington, there was lots of spots where he could have thrown against Covington, and he just chose not to. And he just lost a decision and didn't put up much of a fight.
Nick
we always talk about
he was firing that volume in his last fight 6.5 years ago, wasn't he?
we always talk about 2 kinds of washed. We talk about the washed chins and the guys that just won't throw. Robbie is the second one. It seems like his chin is still there. Dude won't throw. Now Nick Diaz, he threw back in like 2011. So if we extrapolate that out, he probably somewhat still
he's
throws.
Throw even more in 2021.
Yeah,
right?
something
he's
like
just
that.
Always developing as a fighter is what you're trying to say.
Yeah, man, he's had so much time off.
He threw,
his
didn't throw
body
his
is a
shit in
temple.
2015. He was saving it for 2021.
He won that fight against Anderson Silva. You can't tell me otherwise. He doesn't look good. He is culling for 185 because he is not gonna make 170. I'm gonna laugh if he misses 185. Like, would that be like something that could happen?
I don't.
Diaz has never missed weight, but
I don't think he's gonna miss 185. He just doesn't want to cut.
I hope he's on that Rumble diet.
Oh yeah, I mean it's tough, man. He just turned 38. It's hard to look shredded if you're not YOLO when you're 38. So he's looking a little flabby. That's that old man strength that he's garnering now. So he's gonna throw a bunch of jabs and some strikes and maybe lay down on the mat and somehow win a decision. So I got 2 units on him at plus 109.
Wes.
Yeah, look, I've done countered a lot of that stuff, but look, Nick looks bad, man. Like I don't know why he's fighting, but it's probably money. Like, I don't think the guy wants to be there whatsoever. That dude was done fighting a long time ago, before Anderson Silva. I don't, it's not even really in my breakdown of the fight, but if the rumor's true that he got knocked out cold in sparring last week, that's bad. Like, that's really bad. That means it does just take Robbie to throw a few punches in this fight and land something on him. And like, we're talking about Robbie not throwing in fights. Nick didn't throw, like you say, in 2015, he wasn't throwing. He wasn't throwing fucking years. Like, the dude hasn't fought in 6.5 years. That is crazy, man. Like,
that's say good rest.
Say rest. I don't know if I call it rest when you're just doing blow and fucking drinking in Vegas for the past 6 years.
That's his cardio workout, Wes. What the fuck? You get that heart pumping. You got to make sure
get into the club all night.
Do jitsu in the hotel room, on the hotel room floor. Yeah, man. I think this is a bad spot for Nick, man. I always wanted to see Nick fight again, but just not like this, man. Like, watching him walk in today on that video, he looks fucking bad, man. Like, his chick, I don't like to talk about people's chicks, but god damn, man, she looks like a fucking meth addict, dude. Like, he looks like he's on some bad drugs and shit, man. And it just doesn't look right to me, man. Maybe Robbie is so goddamn washed that he won't even throw punches against almost a 40-year-old Nick Diaz that hasn't fought in 6.5 years. I don't think so. And I think this shit he pulled with the weight stuff is going to play against Nick badly, because Robbie kept on a straight face and shit today talking about it. That had to piss him off, because he's on weight. He's been cutting that weight and getting the work in.
That's mind games, baby. That's what Diaz wants. He wants Robbie angry like he was in the first fight.
Good. Hopefully he'll throw punches. I like Robbie here, man. I don't think it's going to take a lot to beat Nick in this fight. It is just going to take Robbie pulling the trigger a little bit. I get Sean betting Nick. I really do. Anybody else, I just don't know what you're basing any of your money on in this spot. Like, all things mentioned previously, 6.5 years. This dude's fought 4 times in a decade. Looks like he's, man, you talk about Connor in a treehouse look. God damn, when he walked in today, he looked like Connor coming out of a fucking treehouse, bro. He doesn't look good, man. The weight shit, the rumors that there's supposedly video of him getting knocked clean out last week. Give me some Robbie here, man. It's not anything big, just a regular 1-unit play. I like Robbie in this spot, man. I hope Nick puts on a good fight, man. I hope it's at least exciting. I don't even expect that. I think this is going to be a really, really shitty fight, honestly. I think it's going to be, I mean, even if Robbie does throw, Sean's right, he's still not Robbie Lawler. He's not going to throw a fucking bunch of volume and shit. And I don't think Nick's going to do much, man. I think we're going to see the same old Nick, and it's going to be even worse because he hasn't fought in 6.5 years. It's going to be a lot of him doing dumb shit, probably talking a lot of shit, raising his hands up in the air, and just doing a bunch of nothing, man. This should be 25 minutes. Like, that really fucking sucks. This should not be 25 minutes. Sean's probably going to be enjoying it. Oh, Nick's talking shit. He's throwing his hands up. Smack him, Nick. At least land something. I got 2 units on you, bro. Give me some Robbie Small.
All right. I have to
Here
admit,
we go, Brad.
Before I thought about this fight at all, I was like, Nick Diaz against a shot Robbie Lawler, 25 minutes. That's probably not bad for him. But the more I heard Sean talk, before Wes even made any points, before Wes said anything, I was like, oh fuck, no, Nick is screwed. Nick is so screwed. And I looked some stuff up. You know, you were talking about how Robbie didn't throw against Covington. He couldn't pull the trigger against Covington. So in that fight, he threw against a guy who took him down 10 times. 10 times. He threw 60 strikes less than Nick threw the entire fight against Anderson Silva. He got taken down 10
but
times.
Nick took a nap in the middle of that fight. That doesn't count.
And in the last round, the only round where he didn't get taken down, I think he threw more strikes than any round that Nick threw in the entire Anderson Silva fight. So, I mean, yeah, he's shot. He's that can't pull the trigger washed, but he's also been fighting high-level grappler, elite welterweight, elite
Fighting.
welterweight,
And
elite
fighting's the more important thing.
So, I mean, you gotta side with Robbie. Now that I've actually had like a minute to talk myself through it.
God damn it, Brad! I thought I pulled you in. And I pushed you away.
You gotta side with Robbie, and I mean, I like nothing more than watching the Diaz's lose. Nothing more. The only time I cheered on a Diaz was the first Nate Connor fight, and like that was just, you know, I didn't think he was gonna win by any means. It was just, you know, right after the Aldo stuff. I had to hope that somebody would come in and defend Aldo's honor. But even this, I think this might be sad for even people like me that very much do not like the Diazes. It's I haven't looked at the pictures. I've seen interviews in the last couple of years from Nick, and they've been pretty rough. If he's still looking like that and begging for 15 extra pounds come fight week, that's it's not a great look. So yeah, Robbie, haven't bet it. It seems like it's starting to move in that direction. So maybe if I'm going to, I should do it now, sooner rather than later. But yeah, that's the Diaz. He's going to continue his streak of being
undefeated.
Yeah. What's he gonna? So
Fight Newsman at 185 next time out.
Sean, what happens if Nick loses in a fight where his opponent doesn't even attempt to take down?
Oh, it's a rigged system. The system is still rigged. It was rigged, and it still is rigged.
So when's Nick running for Stockton City Council?
I mean, he might have to get a job pretty soon.
All right. Next up, co-main event.
Oh man,
women's flyweight division. I mean, we call him the Georgian snooze machine. Out of love, Valentina Shevchenko just put you to sleep. Just awful. Nobody cares. Please stop dancing. I'd rather fuck Hanan Barrow. when he does his sexy dance with the chompers and everything going on.
Teeth.
Man's teeth look worse than Devin Clark's, and I'd still rather be all up in that than Shevchenko taking on Lauren Murphy. And not a great fight all around. Sean?
As with most flyweight fights. I'm trying to get paid for Shevchenko being so fucking boring. I took the over 2.5 at plus 100 for a unit. Lauren Murphy can take some shit, and I don't think she'll be dumb enough to rush in like Andrade and be aggressive. I think she'll try to take, spend all the time in the cage that she can getting a title shot, because it's obviously never going to happen again. So might as well enjoy it, add up all the time, and hopefully can survive for 3 rounds. This is a terrible fight, and this is why we don't need a flyweight division.
Or a bantamweight division. Or a strawweight division. Definitely, there's not even a featherweight division, so we don't need that. Wes?
Yeah, I guess Murphy survives for a few rounds here. Shevchenko probably gets her out of there eventually, but who knows? Maybe she doesn't. She can be really boring sometimes. Murphy is tough. Shevchenko's going to win. I guess the over's a good spot if you need some action on it. Maybe Shevchenko by TKO is slight plus money if you think she's gonna finish. Shevchenko's gonna win.
Might sub her. That's the problem with trying to take that.
I don't know if Murphy gets subbed. Like she's competent and like kind of the grappling. So I kind of almost see like a grounding pound or something like that. But there's that possibility. So and inside the distance I think is really, really juice. So over might be the best way to go. I think Sean's right about Murphy getting her probably one and only title shot. She's probably going to be kind of tentative, not wanting to engage a lot early. So the over is probably not a bad spot. Might take a little of that myself. Pick is Shevchenko, obviously though.
I took a little bit of Shevchenko by decision at plus 250 because
there we go.
If I'm gonna sit through any amount of
minutes.
Who are you talking about?
Any amount of this fight, I'm not gonna sit through it. I'm gonna be on a dog walk. Who are we kidding? Especially with all like the promo packages and the walkouts. This is gonna be like an hour. That's gonna be a great walk for Turk. Oh shit! I'm not.
You're not even going to be doing that. You're at a wedding.
You're going to be hammered, not even thinking about this fight.
Absolutely not. That's even better. Well, I hope Turk gets to go on a walk. I'm sure my dad's looking after him this weekend, so I'm sure he's going to let my dad know that, hey, it's time
It's Saturday night.
It's time to get the fuck out of here.
During a women's fucking championship fight.
Yeah.
Motherfuckers,
they
time
come on
to
the
go.
TV.
But I took a little bit of decision prop because why not? I hope for this fight to be bad. I hope that you all have to suffer through it. I will not. Somebody let me know when the fight starts, and I will make sure I have a drink for every round that it goes.
Oh,
there we go. We'll do that. So it going long is good for everybody, mostly me.
Yep.
Main event, great fight, even if the champion right now is a boring little troll from shitty kickboxing. But, not actually. He's from a different gym down there and sometimes goes to shitty kickboxing when he wants to be shittier. But we'll see. We'll see what happens here.
The champ needs some body bags from time to time. Go over to city and beat up on the fucking bums.
I mean, you got to get your work in against the Shane Youngs of the world and the
you do
what the Kai Kara Francis and whatever other little guys are around. And,
Dude's Adesanya's jiu-jitsu coach and shit.
yeah, Jacob Malkoon,
Malkoon.
That's Whitaker. I think that's Whitaker.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Coach.
Yeah, fuck, they're all the same. Yeah, they're all the same.
They got the same accent. They're all the same. Anyways, that dude is taking on the used to be very handsome Brian Ortega, and then he shaved his head and started looking all weird. But did he grow his hair back? I don't know. I haven't looked at any of the pre-fight stuff yet.
No.
Well, you watched him on Tough, Wes. Did he have the locks?
Nah, he's got some funny looking shit going on. Who knows? He ain't got the locks anymore.
I mean, you know what that is. It's, the king isn't hanging around Black House anymore. He doesn't have that positive influence on Ortega. Wait, what are you trying to imply? He was framed. He was framed. All right. I'm pretty sure it was Ortega too.
No.
And if he wasn't fighting Volkanovski, I would never forgive him. But I want to see the angry little Australian get dethroned, chopped off at the knee. No, that already happened. Chopped off at the hips. Sean, what do you got in a actually very good fight?
Yeah, it should be really good. It's a tough fight to figure out for me. No matter how much Brad and Lance hate Volkanovski, he is a very good fighter. He wins rounds. You might not. You might fall asleep. You might just be very bored. But the judges like what he does. He does throw a decent amount of volume. He's got a pretty complete game. I was pretty impressed with Ortega in the Korean Zombie fight. I was on Zombie there. I definitely think that Zombie was on autopilot after getting rocked there. But I mean, up until that, like, Ortega's stand-up did look very improved since the Holloway fight before that. So he's definitely improved in that area. I've never really thought he was that good. We've seen a million times where he'd be down 2-0 and snatch up a sub and somehow win. And he seems to have progressed from that point. Volkanovski's had COVID twice, I think, now, and he's complained of some lung issues. Cardio is a big part of his game, so that kind of throws a wrench a bit into that side. It's tough for me to stay away from a main event. I haven't really decided how I'm going to play this. I think I'll pick Ortega. Like I said, I was fairly impressed in the Zombie fight. He does have that crazy jiu-jitsu. And he seems like he has decent power at 45. And Volkanovski has been cracked before. Not recently, but I'll pick him. I'll have to decide on betting him. His number keeps coming down, so I haven't pulled the trigger yet.
Wes?
Yeah, this should be a really, really fun fight. Yeah, I like Ortega in this fight too. I do think it's close. The Volkanovski COVID things, I think that is a big factor in this fight. Like, if it is true and he's having like long haul symptoms, his cardio and throwing tons and tons of volume is part of his game. I don't think Brian Ortega is like some great striker at this point, but I mean, watching him in that Zombie fight, he's absolutely improved. And if he can use the length that he's going to have in this fight fairly well, I think that's going to stifle a little bit of what Volk does. Volk, he gets inside. He likes to throw a lot of those. Brad's going to love them, those leg and calf kicks and shit. That's a big part of his game. And Sean's also right. It seems like Ortega has a little power at 145 when he does land his stuff clean, to where I don't think Volk's knocking anybody out. There's one guy in this fight that could finish, just one, and that's Brian Ortega. By sub, or I don't think he's going to knock out Volkanovski, but we've seen him land some stuff and hurt a very, very durable guy in the Korean Zombie last time out. Now, could he snatch up a neck on Volkanovski? Absolutely. So that's another factor for me. One guy can finish this fight, the other one can't. It's going to take 25 minutes for him and getting a decision. And but I think you're going to be some close rounds, man. So at plus money, I'm going to take a little shot on Ortega here. I know some people don't think that Ortega can win a decision this spot. He's got to finish Volkanovski to win this fight. I'm not so sure about that. I think Ortega hits harder, and if he can land some clean, decisive punches that went over the judges in certain rounds, he could take those rounds. And I think his length's going to be a difference in this fight too. It's gonna take Volkanovski out of his game a little bit. And then if that COVID stuff does come into play, man, the 4th and 5th round might be a little tough on Volkanovski. So we'll see. It's going to be a good close fight. I'm going to take a small bet on Ortega because he's the dog in this fight.
Yeah, this is an excellent fight, first of all, and it's a tricky one. There's a lot of factors coming into play. Obviously, Ortega is the more dynamic of these two fighters. He's also, I don't think, as consistent. I don't want to say he's not as skilled, because I think he has skills in more areas. And as Wes said, if somebody finishes this fight, it's going to be Ortega, which makes me kind of think that the safe bet, it looks like Dimes has Ortega no cards at plus 100, which is silly, because I don't think anyone sees Volkanovski coming out of here with stoppage. If he wins, it's going to be a decision. And really, the only thing that's kind of making me hesitant is, I don't follow the news of the fighters like you guys do. So if he is actually kind of hurting because of the COVID that he got a couple times, I don't know what the hell they're doing down there in Australia that he's getting it twice. Didn't he blame the UFC for one of those or something like that?
Yeah.
That's about right. If that is a thing, that could be a big factor, because he won the Max fight on the strength of the 3rd, 4th, and 5th rounds. And I know people debate whether he won the 3rd round or not. I thought it was fine. It wasn't.
Second fight.
It wasn't egregious. I've seen way worse cards. So that's going to be tricky. But he is the guy out of the two that is the proven round winner. And he should have a decent strategy. They always seem to come up with pretty good game plans, like the way he managed to get takedowns against Holloway in the second fight. It was a nice little switch up of working his strikes into the clinch and then quickly getting the body lock takedown. So they do tricky little things over there. So I can't hate on them too much. But man, I really would like to see Ortega get the win here. As I said, he is more dynamic. Volkanovski, we've seen him kind of get hurt in the past. Mendez put it on him a bit. I don't think that Ortega necessarily has that kind of power, but obviously he's also got a much more dynamic submission game. So if Volkanovski needs to close the distance and get into the clinch, I think even that could be concerning for him, because Ortega is the kind of guy who's dumb enough that he'll jump up and go for a guillotine. And, once they get on the ground, I kind of think all bets are off. Volkanovski usually has pretty good positional control, but Ortega will create weird scrambles and hit stuff from the bottom that most guys normally wouldn't. So I think that's an interesting aspect to the fight, even if he just wants to create some scrambles rather than just turn this into a striking match. But the thing that makes me side with Volkanovski in the end is the fact that before Ortega actually rocked Zombie, I didn't think he looked that much better. You know, he fought Zombie, who was a literal zombie for like the better part of 4 rounds in that fight. And yeah, he looked good, but it's because his opponent's brain was shut off for 20 minutes or 21 minutes of a 25-minute fight. So I'm hesitant to back him against a guy who has been in there consistently against the best featherweights in the world over the past few years and looked very solid at pretty much every point. So I do have to side with Volkanovski. I think it's going to be a decision, but I might throw a little flyer on that Ortega no cards, because I think that's basically just a free money play. You're not going to lose it, and if Ortega does pull something crazy off, then you're going to get some money back. That is going to do it for this week's MMA analysis. Yeah, we went a little bit longer than we have the past couple of weeks, but we
had good fights to talk about.
Exactly. Yeah. We talk about the shit when it's good shit to talk about.
Yeah.
What do we have after this? I heard a
return of Becci.
Oh, wow. I heard a terrifying rumor that we have 10 weeks in a row of UFC.
Oh, man. Santos and Johnny Walker. Oh, my goodness.
Yep.
Oh, the medium Daukaus is back.
Yep.
Okay.
So
nice.
There's some stuff happening.
There's some stuff on that card.
Yeah. We got the legend Leonardo Santos. God damn. This card's loaded.
He's not due for a fight yet.
Yeah.
He's got another like 5 years before he should be fighting again.
Like hangs out with fucking Nick Diaz.
If you want to put money on which fight is going to drop out, I would put money on that one.
I would put money on Misha Serkinov trying to drop down to 185.
Oh no, is that
that'll
for
be
real?
Interesting.
Oh my god,
dude's gonna be a literal fucking V.
There is no way that dude is going to 185. Holy shit!
Chop off a leg. Doesn't need it.
That's gonna be like a Cannoneer like transformation. Like if he makes it. My god, that dude is massive. How the fuck is he making 185?
There's some stuff on that card, and Nico Price against Cowboy.
Yeah, that should be
all.
Oh
my god! Yeah.
So yeah, next week is bad, but kind of looks like fun. And this week
is fun.
This week should be actually good for the most part. Even when it's bad, like in the case of Sean's boy Nick Diaz. But we'll be back. We'll be back to recap all of that next week. I'm sure Lance will have some sort of ailment that will keep him off the podcast. But the three of us will be back, and maybe we'll have somebody join us. Who knows? We've always got tricks up our sleeves. That's going to do it for this week of the MMA Analysis. I appreciate you guys joining us. Always appreciate anyone who listens to this shit show. And we'll catch you next week.